Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut a double-breasted blazer with a notched collar. So if it's something you would love to learn, please watch to the end, like, share and subscribe. If you are new on this page, please do to hit the subscribe button. Subscription is totally free, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I drop new videos. So without further ado, let's jump right into the main video. So we are going to take our vertical measurement, the measurement we'll be needing for this tutorial, from the top of the paper here, which is my starting point, and my shoulder line as well. I'm going to come down to mark my shoulder bust point, which is 10 inches. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10. I'll go ahead and extend that line across. Then the next line will be my waist point. From my shoulder to my waist is 16. I'll go ahead and mark the 16 inches all the way to get a straight line. I'll go ahead and extend the point across. So the next line is the length of our blazer. So I'll be marking 26 as the full length. It depends on what you want at this point. If you want it as a gown, you know how to go about it. You add more extra inches. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll be marking 26 as the full length. I'll go ahead and extend the point across as well. So I'll go ahead and label the lines: my full length, my waistline, my bust line. So I'll come to the waistline here, mark half an inch, and I'm going to connect it down and up. This is to give our blazer that nice shape around the waist. See how I'm connecting it? So we're going to take out this area here. We don't need this area. So I'll go ahead and impute my body measurement. I'll come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2, which is 7.5. I'll mark it right there. At that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. Then I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll connect the shoulder slope into the neck width like so. So this is the back pattern I forgot to mention earlier. Then I'll come down to mark my neck depth of 1 inch. Then I'll connect it with my curve rule. I'm very sorry that my camera was not placed properly. I realized that after I was done with the video, so you guys should just bear with me. What we are basically doing here is our basic bodies. So I'll come down from my shoulder slant to mark my arm length. And how to get your arm length: divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to it. Then to connect the two lines together, I'll make sure I have what I have on my shoulder line here to get a straight line. Then I'll go ahead and connect from my shoulder slant to that point we just marked. Then I'll extend the point across as well. So this is our chest line. So I'll come to this line, mark the midpoint, divide whatever you have on that line by 2 to get the midpoint. Then I'll mark my bust circumference by 4 on the chest line. Then I'll use my curve rule to just connect to that point like so. So we now have our armhole. So the next thing is to get our dart. And how to get your dart: divide your bust span, that is your nipple to nipple measurement, by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark it on all these 3 lines. Then I'll go ahead and connect all these points with a straight line. So on the waistline, I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides of this line. I'll mark half an inch on both sides of the line. Then I'll come down by 6 inches from the waistline. Then I'll connect from the waistline to that point we just marked like so. Then I'll connect it all the way to the bust line as well. So we now have our dart. So from the bust line here, I'm going to come up by half an inch. So you can connect this line all the way to the shoulder if you want to have a shoulder dart, but I want to have like a princess dart kind of look. So I'm going to connect this to the midpoint of my armhole like so. I'll make sure I blend it so that it is not pointy. So I'll go ahead and impute my body measurement. I've already marked my bust. I add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'm going to mark it on the waistline. So this dart intake of 1 inch, I'll replace it, then add 1 inch for sewing allowance as well. I'll come to the full length. I'll divide my hip by 4. Then I'll add ½ inch allowance because I want it a little bit free around the hip. Then I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together. So this is basically it for the back pattern. This is a very simple tutorial. If you know how to draft your basic body, this shouldn't be hard for you. So I'll go ahead and cut it out so we can work on the front pattern. So if at this point you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button. Subscription is totally free. Subscribe, like, share, and do well to comment as well. Your comment means a lot. It will help the algorithm to recommend this video to more people to watch. So do well to leave comments after you watch. Thank you so much for doing that. So this is the side back and then the center back. We're going to keep this aside so we can go ahead and work on the front pattern. So for the front pattern, from the top of the paper, I'm going to come down to mark 5 inches. So come down from the top of the paper by 5 inches, mark it all the way. So I'll go ahead and extend this line across. I feel like the lines are not really that visible, and that is because it's a white pattern paper. I would have used marker or something. If it was a brown paper, I don't think we'll have this issue. So you guys should just pardon me. Then from the side of the paper, you come out by 5 inches as well. You can see what I'm doing here. Come out, or is it coming by 5 inches from the side of the pattern paper, and mark it all the way down. Like I said earlier, if we should please pardon me because the lines are not really visible. I think it's because it's a white paper. I would have used marker or something. So you guys should just pardon me. But if you feel like the video is not bright or clear enough for you guys, just let me know in the comment section so that we can do another video still on this topic. So this is where we're going to be taking all of our measurement from, after the line, not before the line. So I'll come down to take my vertical measurement. That is from my shoulder to my bust point, just the way we did on the back pattern. We are literally going to repeat everything we did on the back pattern. From your shoulder, come down to mark your bust point. I'll go ahead and extend the line across. Then I'll come down from the shoulder line to mark my waist point as well, which is 16. I'll mark it all through to get a straight line. I'll go ahead and extend the point across as well. Then from my shoulder line, I'm going to come down to mark the length of my blazer, which is 26. I'll mark it all through to get a straight line. Like I say, we are literally repeating what we did on the back pattern. So if you're following the tutorial, just go ahead and do that. Then I'll go ahead and extend the line across as well. So this is my full length, my waistline, and my bust point. So I'll come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2, which is 7.5. Then at that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slant. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll connect the shoulder slant into the neck width. Make sure all your measurements are taken after the line. Then I'll come down by 3 inches for my neck depth. I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points together. Then I'll come down from the shoulder slant to mark my arm length. And how to get that, divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches. I'll make sure I have what I have on the shoulder line to get a straight line. At this point, I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points together. We are literally repeating what we did on the back pattern. I'll go ahead and extend this line across as well. So this now become our chest line. So I'll come here to mark the midpoint of this line. Then I'll go in at that point by ½ inch. Then I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. I'll mark it on the chest line. Then I'll connect the 2 points together all the way to the shoulder slant to get my armholes, and this is it. I'll go ahead to create my dart. Divide your bust span by 2. Mine is 3.5. I'll mark the 3.5 on all the 3 lines. I'll go ahead to connect the point with a straight line. So I'll come to the waist, mark half an inch on both sides of this line. Then I'll come down from the waist by 6 inches. Then I'll connect from the waist to that point we just marked. And then I'll connect it all the way to the bust line. So now have our dart. So I'll come up by half an inch from the bust line, then I'll connect to the midpoint of my armhole with my cup, just like this. So I'll go ahead and impute my round body measurement. We've already marked our bust. I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll come to the waist, divide my waist by 4. I'll mark it. Then the 1 inch intake for that, I'll replace it. Then add another 1 inch for sewing allowance. Come to the full length, divide my hip by 4. I'll mark it. Then I'll add half an inch for ease. And then add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together. So I'm going to mark 4 inches all the way to the waist point. That is where I want my breaking point to be. Your breaking point can either be on the bust point, under bust, or waist point. This is where your first button is going to start from. So for the sake of this tutorial, I want it to be on the waist point. So I'm going to connect this line like this. Then I'm going to connect from the neck width all the way to the waistline with my straight rule. I'll just connect all the way to the waistline like so. So on this shoulder slant, I'm going to mark 0.25 and I'm going to connect it back into the line. This is to allow our collar relax very well. Then I will bring in the back pattern paper. I'm going to measure around the neck. Whatever I have there, I got 3/8. I'm going to mark it up slantly. You see how I place my tape? I'm going to mark the 3/8 here, and I'm going to connect that line all the way to that 3/8. I will also mark another 0.25 here and connect it back into the line. So for the width of our collar, I'm going to use 4 inches. You can either use 3 inches, 3/8, or 4 inches. It depends on how wide you want your collar to be, and I'm going to connect it all the way like this. Then for our lapel, I'm going to use 3 inches. I'm going to mark 3 inches here. For our lapel, I'm using 3 inches, and I'm going to connect all the way to that point. So I'm going to mark 1.5 inches inward. Then from that point, I will mark another 1.5 inches out like this. We are trying to create our notch here. Then I'll connect to that point. Then from our collar width, we are going to connect all the way like so. You can see, you can use a straight rule or a curve rule. So I was about to cut the pattern paper and I realized I have not connected down. So I'm still going to connect from this notch all the way to our breaking point with my straight rule like this. Like you can see how I connected it. So this is it. I'll go ahead and take this out. I've already cut it. Then I'll go ahead and cut the rest of the pattern papers. So this is basically it for the front. It's very simple. Please do well to pay attention to how I'm cutting it. Like I said earlier, if you feel like the video is not really that clear for you, you can tell me in the comment section. We'll make another one. But I'm very sure if you follow everything carefully, you will understand everything we did here. So this is it. So this is the center front and then the side front. So we're going to notch where our collar is going to stop, so that when you are sewing you will not have any issue. So please do well to notch where your collar stops. Okay, so when you fold this is how it's going to look like. By the time you are done sewing, this is how it's going to look like. It's very, very simple. Make sure you label them appropriately so that you don't miss them. So this is it. You can see how the whole tutorial is very simple, right? Thank you guys so much for staying to this very moment. If you have not subscribed, please do where to subscribe before you go. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.